Welcome back to the channel, lads. We're starting this vlog off at 2:30 in the afternoon. We are only just setting off to work. Well, this morning we went to the wholesalers. We've done a little bit of content for TikTok, Instagram, things like that. And now we're only just going to work because we've got an evening job to do. We could only get in there in the evening. We're going back to a rewire we'd done before, and now they want a load of extra bits before the plasterer goes in tomorrow. We tried booking it in during the day, but apparently it's too busy. Bathroom fitters are in, CCTV guys are in, so we've had to fit in the evening. So yeah, we're going to take you along. I think it's just adding extra socket in for the TV, add another socket in from somewhere else as well. So we've got a bit of chasing out. We're going to use a Metabo chaser, and yeah, we're going to get driving, get going there, and I'll catch up with you in a bit. We are going to be walking you through the process of this job, and actually in this video we electrocuted ourselves, but make sure you stay tuned and stay watching to catch that. But walking into the job, the client already marked out where they wanted the double sockets, but we had a few bits that we needed to get done as well. So we had to strip out this old socket. We should have done it on the rewire, but we just totally forgot, I'm going to be honest. So we stripped that out. It was already dead, so just get the snips on it, and then we just cut it off at the socket and then down below as well. And then we also had to disconnect a double socket. But now it's on to the main part of the job. So the customer wants 2 new double sockets installed for their TV. So there's already a socket in the bedroom which we wired as a ring main. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the floor up and then start wiring and getting our roots all drilled out. These floorboards are not the easiest to get up. They are actually tongue and groove, so it is always a nightmare getting it up. But luckily, when we lifted the carpet, we see that this run had already been taken up. So from what we can see, it already got taken up by the plumbers. So we got it up, and then it was time to start drilling out our holes. So the plan is on this job, the room already has a double socket. So what we're going to do, we're going to tap off that double socket and extend the ring. We're not going to run just one single cable and just spur off it. We're going to extend the ring because we've got 2 double sockets to go behind that TV. So we need to drill out all our cable routes. So we're using the Bosch spade bit and the Bosch impact. I always like to use an impact when using these spade bits. I feel like sometimes if you put it into the drill, then it kicks back at you, and I'll tell you what, if you get a kickback on the drill straight in the mush, if you're on the steps or something like that, it is painful. So this was actually a nightmare getting the cables to the actual TV wall, because on that TV wall there's a joist and then probably about a 30mm gap in between the joist and the wall, so it's very tight and very difficult to get the cables in, but we managed to do it. We managed to pull the cables through the joist. As you can see, it is not the easiest task when you are on your own, but we always get the job done no matter what. So once we got the cables pulled into position, we got the cables to the socket, and then we got it to the media wall as well. We managed to just get the floor back down, and it's just so much easier to work around. You don't have to just hop over any joists or anything like that. Think you're going to fall through the floor. So we got the floor back down, and then it was time to mark out the double sockets. So we use the box template. This is an absolute lifesaver. I've been using this. This is probably one of the first tools I got as an apprentice, and it's just saves so much time rather than getting a back box, putting a level on it, trying to keep it level while marking round it. Honestly, this is a must-have tool if you are an apprentice. It just saves so much time. Another great tool is this Metabo 3-blade chaser. Honestly, this saves so much time. There's no chiseling out once you've done the chases. The mess is very little, so when you're in an occupied situation like this, it makes it so much easier. But after we marked up the sockets, it was simply get the chaser out, get the chase down, and then chase out the actual sockets themselves. As you can see with the socket chase themselves, we did go bigger than the actual back boxes themselves, because I feel like, especially with this red brick, it is so much easier than chiseling it out, because it takes absolutely forever. When you have a 35mm back box, you chase it out that little bit extra and it just sits flush. There's no more chiseling out that you need to do. It's just the perfect fit. So we chased that out for 2 double back boxes, and then it was time to start getting the knockouts in, getting the grommets in, and then mounting the back boxes. Of course, we got the laser out, we got the laser level out just to make sure they're dead straight. As two sockets next to each other, you want to make sure that is nice and level. And then we wired it with the oval conduit, and then it was time to start stripping it back and then terminating the double sockets. For me, doing domestic work, second fix is always the best part about it. You never see the hard graft that goes into it, you just see two double sockets on the wall. But then when it comes to the second fix, you actually know how much hard work went into it, getting the floor up, getting the cables in, drilling out the cable routes. Sometimes it can be an absolute nightmare, but when you come to second fix it, you get to appreciate it. So that was the two double sockets, all second fixed, ovaled up, chased out, all done and dusted. Now is where the magic happens, and it weren't quite magic, because this is where we actually got electrocuted, taking off the socket. And to my defence, we put the socket tester in, we pressed the RCD trip button, it definitely tripped, and we was getting no power through the socket tester. Maybe you can't always trust the socket testers, but yeah, I'm not sure whether the client turned it back on or what, but before we started the job, it was definitely dead. And then we went to take off the socket, like you can see, and yep, zap, we got a bolt, a shock, and it is definitely a wake-up call, especially in the afternoon. You're a little bit tired and then you get a bolt. But of course, I'm going to leave it in for you guys. I'm trying to be so transparent with these videos and things like that, and this stuff does happen. This is what happens in the electrical industry. So yeah, definitely use your voltage testers when proving dead, because otherwise you get a bolt like that and it bloody hurts, let me tell you. So used to getting bolts now, so we just carry on and get the socket all done and dusted. So connection wise, what we're going to do, we're just going to totally strip it back to the two legs of the ring main, and then what we want to do is, we've got the two extra legs of the ring main now, so we're going to get a bit of oval conduit, get a new grommet into the back box, and then put the two new cables into the back box. We also had a little bit of chasing out to do, because obviously we've got two bits of oval now. We need to make that chase that little bit wider. So we've got the Bosch SDS drill out. We chiseled that away, and then we made that chase that little bit wider. And then once that was all done, it was time to terminate the cables. I love using these Knipex 5-in-1 pliers, but they are going really blunt. I've probably had them 2 years now, but we was using the CK side cutters to strip back the socket. And because it's a ring, what we're going to do, we're going to take one of the old legs and connect it with some Wagos and connect it through, stick that into the back of the back box, and then with the other old leg, we're going to put that into the socket with one of the new legs, if you know what I mean. So basically we're just extending that ring round, so we just keep it all continuous. And yeah, if they ever need to add extra load or anything like that, they've got that opportunity. They've got the 32 amps. So yeah, that is sort of the process that we went through, of just extending the ring, adding the two double sockets for the TV media wall. This was extras. We finished a rewire, and then they called us back for the extras. So we and then that pretty much wrapped up the whole job. So it was a nice little evening job. We finished about 8:10, which isn't the greatest, but you've got to put in that graft and get the job done. So I hope you've enjoyed this little install vlog and day in the life. I will catch you on the next one. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and comment anything you want to comment down below. I'll catch you on the next one.